All right, all right, all right. Oh, I got to start the session. I'm like, all right, all right, all right. We just still got to start the session. Hello, my name is Amanda Kaufman, and you are watching the Coaching Leads Made Easy broadcast and the Courageous Coach class for Tuesday. It is June 25th, and I am coming at you live from my office in Fort Worth, Texas. So, hello, hello. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Manna. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. If you are in class right now, hello, hello, hello. If you are on the Facebook group, do say hello. We're there with the comment there as well. Y'all, oh, this class, creating buzz and building loyalty. Like, let me just ask you this. Do you really want to have to chase down clients? Right? You know, who would rather be chased? Who would rather have people come to you for your amazing coaching, right? There you go. That's the whole thing. So we're going to be talking about how to connect with your amazing people that are really meant to be your dream clients. And we're going to be talking specifically about how do you get a lead to become a client. We're going to do that today. Hello, Jessica. Say hello in the chat if you haven't seen, if you can see and hear me. Let me know where you're tuned in from. I would really love to get to connect with you today. Okay, so every Tuesday, I have been going live for years. We're just going to say years. We're going to keep it simple and we're going to say years. And well, awesome. We got New York, we got Calgary. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And I have made a big mistake. I made a big mistake. And the mistake was assuming that everybody wants the same thing that I do. You ever done that by accident before? Let me know if you're in the comments or the chat. Just let me know if I'm completely alone in that. Have you ever just like made an assumption and you thought you were doing the right thing? Thought you were like totally good, and then you were informed. Oh no, 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 you got it wrong. And you almost want to put your foot in your mouth. Or, you want to just like, oh, I wish I could start over, but you can't. There's no do-overs. There's just new decisions. So, like I was saying, I've made a mistake, and I had made a mistake, and I've made this mistake many times. And it is making an assumption that people want what I want. Right? And coaches, I want you to have so many clients. I want people to be like chasing you down in the street safely and demanding a coaching session. I want them to be so curious about you that they're going to look you up and track you down and just do what they have to do to get on your calendar. But I think the mistake that I made was that everybody is so geeky about how that all works. And the truth is that I discovered people just want the result usually. You ever felt that? Like, have you ever found yourself just wishing, I wish I could just have my six-pack abs, unless you have six-pack abs, in which case, enjoy your six-pack abs, right? Or have you ever found yourself just wishing your bank account was different? Or found yourself just like wishing that your friendships were different, your relationships were different, your family was different? Yeah. Like that's one of the biggest things that actually draws us to coaching is we know what it's like to be in one place and how amazing it is to get to that next place. And we just wish everybody knew. Isn't that so true? Hey David, glad you're here. Hey Jessica. So I think one of the biggest reasons I want all the abs and none of the burpees. Very good. Yeah. I think one of the biggest reasons why people quit on their goals, whether it's to get six-pack abs or to change their bank account or get out of debt or change the job that they super hate, and is just terrible, and they struggle with change. Have you noticed that? That people really struggle with, like, they say, I'm afraid. Well, coach, have you ever done something afraid and did it anyway? Let me know. That's called courage. You know, it's called courage. I do it all the time. I come on here to spend time with you every Tuesday, and I know what we're going to be talking about. I know where I would like us to go with the conversation, but I don't know what's going to come out of my face because I do a lot of extemporaneous speaking. So I do get worried sometimes. I'm like, oh, well, what if people don't like the topic I picked this week? Anybody ever been there? And then, like, what if I have prepared for something and they don't want it? Anybody ever been there? Say yes, right? If you're with me. Because the thing is, that fear has not gone away in 7 years. But do you think I'm better at what I do now than when I started 7 years ago? When I first started this business, I was so scared of people. I lacked confidence. I lacked proof. I was walking around and I was looking for, I want proof that I'm going to be an amazing coach. And the proof I was looking for was so freaking unfair. And this is an assumption that I wonder how many of you might be making. Okay, if I can go there. If I was to assume something about you, you'd be super annoyed, right? But what if you're assuming something about other people? What if you're assuming that they're not choosing you, Pikachu, as the coach for the wrong reason? Right? What most coaches do that I've worked with is they blame themselves. They say there's something wrong with me. I've just spent a whole day doing private coaching at the highest level. I've done my mastermind today. I've been working in large coaching groups doing coaching. And the number one thing I hear is the reason that something isn't working is because I'm not worthy. I suck. Right? And it's horrible, and I get to work with coaches. So I think coaches, we have this thing called, PDAG, Personal Development Awareness Guilt. And it's the awareness that is bad, right? We know it's bad if a coach is kind of like down on themselves. Like, we know that. But then what ends up happening is we feel guilty about being down on ourselves. So then guess what we do? We get worse on ourselves. And it takes the whole conversation from being about service of other people, and it turns the whole conversation around to focus on ourselves. And then when we notice, oh my God, I'm focusing on myself, what happens? We keep doing it. It's like, don't think about a pink elephant, right? And what's the first thing that comes into your brain? Pink elephant, right? Shadow Pink in the chat. If you've ever had that experience where you're like, I just want to stop my brain from thinking this way, and OMG, I am still thinking it. So I want to give you the solution, because this is how you're going to take leads that I guarantee are all around you all the time and turn them into loyal clients, right? Who's game, right? Shout game in the chat. And just so that I know, for those that are here with me live on the Demio, I'm curious, what stage of coaching business are you really at? Like, are you thinking about becoming a coach? You have no clients that have ever paid you. Are you starting up? Like, you're looking to get that next level of income, and it's going to come from pivoting into the coaching industry. And you're looking for those first few clients that are like ready to rock up, ready to pay, ready to play, ready to stay, right? That's startup. Ramp up is, I got my first couple of clients and now I want to get more, and I'm worried that I don't know where my next client is going to come from. So that's more of a ramp up kind of a phase. But you do already have some experience with closing paying clients. And scale up is like, I want to do this, Amanda. I want to have one-to-many sales. I want to have a team working for me because I'm out of time. I am ramped up and I'm out of time and I need more time back. Now, to be clear, we all need time at every stage. Even if you're just thinking about starting a coaching business, you need time, right? However, If you like, the big difference is like startup, I'm looking for my very first client. Ramp up, I'm looking for all the next clients, and then I'm going to be ready to scale up. Cool? Yeah, cool. All right. So, what if I told you that there is a very high likelihood that your next ideal clients to fill the rest of your coaching practice already know someone who knows you? Would you believe me? Would you believe me if I told you that? Your next client is just a matter of you really deciding that that I want to be a coach, that I want to be a coach, that I'm done with fighting with myself about some dang tech. I'm done with fighting with myself about the processes. I'm done with fighting for my limitations. I am a CEO coach, right? And as a CEO coach, I'm deciding that I will be successful as a coach. And I was chatting with a client earlier today, and we realized, they thought that they had all this stuff wrong with them. They thought that it was because they had terrible money mindset. They thought it was because they were scared of their tech. They thought it was because it's too overwhelming on the internet these days. And what it really kind of came down to was they wanted to have more experience so that it was easier for them to stand behind themselves. I'm going to say that again. They wanted more experience so it would be easier for them to stand behind themselves. So they wanted to get like that next certification. They wanted to get that next, credential hours tracking, and they were willing to give away their coaching for the price of a coffee. Because what they wanted was they wanted to feel confident after having done a lot of work. And when I really dug into it, this conversation I've had so many times. And when I ask you, how many people have you actually coached? If you feel courageous, you could just tell me in the chat, like, how many people have you actually coached? And if you've coached more than several people and you keep giving it away for free, it's no longer their fault. It becomes ours. We have to assert ourselves as the coach. So one of the reasons why people don't extend loyalty to you, why people don't say, I want to come to your session, or I want to learn from you, or I want to hear from you, is because you don't want to hear from you. Is that too much on a Tuesday? Right? You have to be the first one to line up and say, I'm the coach. I'm the coach and I am open for business. And it does not matter how much you're charging for your first few sessions. But then after you've had your first few sessions, you've got kind of a good confidence that you really do have a good coaching skill. After that, we have to stop blaming the leads. And we got to stop blaming the marketing. We got to stop blaming like other entrepreneurs that are successful. Because let me ask you something. If somebody who's successful is standing next to you, are they taking anything away from you? Right? I used to think like this. I used to be like, oh, the successful ones are vacuuming up all the good leads. All the good clients, all the good people are going up the successful people vacuum. And I am stuck here with my loser mop and I can't suck anything up because I'm a loser mop, right? This is like crazy. If you think I'm being silly and kind of funny talking about like how giving your power to all of the people who are more successful than you and saying they get to suck up all the clients, they get to have all of the benefits because, and then you start fighting for your limitations and you start saying, well, it's because they have a bigger team. Well, it's because they have more flashy marketing. It's because they have more years of experience. Well, what can you do about any of that? Right? If you go toe to toe with me in a coaching consult process, we're probably going to find out that you'd learn a thing or two. But you know what? I'd probably learn a thing or two from you. Right? Stop being so competitive that you take yourself out of the race. and therefore deny yourself to be the actual coach that you are. If people are following you, I don't care if it's one person, take care of them. Because followers follow followers. They don't follow you. And if they really want your coaching and they really want your help and your support, they will seek you out when you show them that you are safe. And by the way, safe does not mean silent. Can somebody say that in the chat to remind everyone? Safe does not mean silent. Safe does not mean that you just sit back and, have the client have their way all the time. You never connect with them. You never converse with them. There's never any kind of tension. And you're completely avoidant of any kind of contact, because contact could lead to conflict, and conflict could lead to sadness, right? You are allowing the fear of something that hasn't actually even happened yet to prevent you from connecting with the people who are already connecting with you. The difference is we have to remember that when people are sort of trying to discover whether you're trustworthy, they're going to watch you for a while, right? I'm curious, like, how many of you are old friends? Like, you've been to a couple of trainings, you're coming back for more, right? Shout out friends in the chat. And how many of you are new? Like, shout out new in the chat if this is like your first rodeo and you're like, who is this chick with the red glasses? I have no idea. Like, I thought this was a cooking class, like, that's new. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's okay to be new in a relationship, but the people that are like friends, hello, friends. And like, hey, is this Robert, like, as in Robert? Let me see. It is Robert, as in Robert. Hey, Robert Murray. Nice to see you, my friend. And he was sharing this really powerful thing. He said, I've actually had lots of people thank me for following up with them. And it's refreshing. Look, all things being equal, people are going to buy from their friends. All things not being equal, people are going to buy from their friends. And the way to be friendly online is to be seen. That's step one, right? Step one is be seen. Step two is see other people, right? See other people. You see, what a lot of people do is they flip it. They're like, okay, step one, see a lot of people. And then they end up on their phone and they're scrolling until the end of time, and they're getting more gray hairs, and they're totally hopelessly addicted. And why do they keep watching the reels of the old TV shows that they used to watch? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So flip it. Let yourself be seen, and then see the people who care. Okay? Don't just be seeing people. Hey, Lisa, glad you're here. Don't just be seeing people for the sake of collecting people. People are not Pokemon. Y'all get that, right? You're individuals. So if you want to translate your amazing presence and your commitment and your calling, start treating people more like people, and stop treating people like consumables. I'm like choking up a little bit. A lot of coaches want to be coaches and not really entrepreneurs yet. And that's okay. Like, I think you should get your experience however you get your experience. It's okay to do some beta coaching. It's okay to set a lower price and work your way up. It's okay to do this as a part-time thing and prove it out towards the full-time thing. But just remember, the slower you go, the less impact you're going to have and the less confidence you're going to build. You want to find like this sweet spot of, I see the people who are seeing me and I am connecting back and forth with them, and I'm inviting, step 3, inviting new people in all the time, right? So first be seen, then see the people who see you, and then invite new people into the ecosystem, right? You want to invite people in all the time. Be that friendly person, not just the way you look, not just the way that you sound, not just the way that you are when it's convenient, but like be a friendly person who seeks to meet other people. And the way that you actually convert leads is you start realizing that leads are not leads. Leads are the contact information of people who are potentially interested in what it is that you do. That's a person. Today I got a text message from somebody who sometimes, and please never do this, sometimes when people opt in to the marketing, they'll give like a different phone number than their own. And sometimes, you mistype it, and I get that. But somebody actually replied back with a horrible message, right? They were like, wrong number, and then they cursed. Like, it was like really, really rude. And so, obviously don't text that person again. But I think the thing that I really want you to know is, like, if you're afraid that that's going to happen, I'm just going to let you know that's going to happen. But for the number of people that do that versus the thousands and thousands of other people that are like, oh, you know what? I loved when you did the replay. I really appreciated when you held that space. Oh my God, my life changed when we did that live event together. Oh my goodness, I can't believe the friendships and relationships that I've built since now. I would get cussed at, on that ratio any day of the week. What are you so afraid of for being seen, for seeing the people who see you, and for inviting more people into the conversation? Right? For many of you, it's because you want to get paid before you work. Right? And this was me too. I was like, oh my God, I already have the certification. I already have the years of work. I've already got all this in the past. That's not the work I'm talking about. What I mean is, if you want people to be invested in you, the amount of investment you're going to have to give to them is going to be at least similar. At least similar. Right? Good for you, Manna. It took a while before I do a video. I had to kick my own butt. Yeah, exactly. Be seen, see the people who see you. So another perspective here is when you post to social media and you're looking for, well, that one got that many likes and that one got that many comments, but you don't reply to the comments. People do this all the time. And it's like, well, really, using media to be social and drive a connection is really the whole point of it. When people are complaining that it's like, oh, social media doesn't work, email marketing is dead, none of this stuff works, I'm telling you right now, it's actually because they've missed the whole point, right? The whole point is I did some slides, do what matters, right? Becca got me these really cute little happy clips, and I just love them. And it really comes down to just basically 4 steps. We have to meet more people. If you're feeling like nobody loves me, everybody hates me, nobody wants what I have, or if you're like me, I was starting my career and all of my past contacts really probably weren't all that interested in my new thing. And so I had to meet new people, and I had to be patient to get better and better at meeting more people more quickly. Right? So you can meet people in person. I did that when I very first started. I was doing like a lot of networking and in person, and I found that was slow. And also, if I went to an event and it wasn't a good match for what I do, I could waste hours and hours and end up with like really no good contacts coming out of that situation. So I asked myself, how can I be more efficient at meeting people? And so I spent a lot of time building my automatic networking guide, right? So if you want the automatic networking guide, just say guide and we'll send you a free copy of this guide. And I needed a way to meet people that didn't make me crazy, because I'm, a mom, and crazy enough as it is, and I needed a way to be able to connect with people at volume, right? So the next thing though is I learned very quickly that if you just talk to people, your life changes. Right? And funnily enough, when you talk to people, it gives you a chance to meet people, right? So if you talk to people and let's say the worst thing in the world happens, they're not interested, right? They're not interested in your coaching, but maybe they're interested in you. Maybe they're interested in what it is that you're bringing into the world. And because you took the time to talk to them, to be seen, right? Shout out Heard if you heard me loud and clear on this. then you can always ask, like, who else should I be meeting? So again, there's a manual way to do this that's like, handshakes and smiles and, all in person. You can totally do that. There's also virtual ways of doing it using automation, right? So good. All right. Talk. Fit. So fit is the word we use for like our sales process. We really recommend learning how to sell in a way that is congruent for you as a coach, because you want to be a coach first, right? So let me know in the chat if you want to be a coach first. I was so nervous about selling anything because I knew how important it was in the coaching relationship that my client felt consent. That my client felt that they were in control of the decision. But at the same time, I needed to make sure that my time wasn't being completely wasted by people who would just pick my brain or want to get coaching for free or basically disrespecting the coaching process. So without this is a fast path to not being very satisfied as a coach, because the real secret, and this took a little time to figure out, the real secret is coach people who are awesome, right? Don't coach jerks. And so what can happen is sometimes in the talking phase, you realize, oh, well, this person's probably, not interested, not a good time, not a great fit. And you can save yourself some time. But boy, oh boy, you don't want somebody to commit to a coaching relationship that's a terrible fit. You want to have a process where it's a little challenging to get through, and that the person feels that they're really being heard when they make the decision to actually buy from you. Like, how many of you would do a lot better if you just knew that you had a better process for how you approach this part of the coaching relationship, right? Shout fit in the chat if you're like, yeah. And then we get to coach. We get to coach after we have had the fit conversation with people. And again, you could start with free sessions. You don't have to be an expensive coach, right? You can be. I have been, right? An expensive coach. But when you're ready, you can change your packaging, your pricing, etc., right? Rebecca is our fit expert. She is so good at fit. She studied this for years. She's taken all of the major programs. She's really, really, really good at it. So a couple more bonus tips, right? Coach on what matters, right? Not what matters necessarily to you. This is the mistake I made early on, right? Not even early on, just very recently. I'm like, oh my God, a lot of coaches just want to be a coach. Well, one of the reasons why you're not making the kinds of connections you were hoping for, or having people fall all over themselves, is they're just not clear about why what you do matters. It's not that your stuff doesn't matter. Hear me on this. Like, even just say in the chat, my stuff matters, okay? My stuff matters. It 1,000% matters. But does it matter to them, right? Are you coaching on a goal? So do shout out my stuff matters, because your stuff does matter. It's just that you have a skill that sometimes people are confused about, like, well, how does that help me, right? So just, you got to be the number one customer. The second piece is you've got to work with people who want the help. Has anybody had that person in their life that was just shoving a solution down the throat and you were just like, please, I am not interested in what you're selling and I don't want help with this right now. It's like the most annoying thing ever, right? What if you set up your processes and your systems and your conversations in a way that you're only talking to people who actually want to talk to you? Ayo, right? No cussing, no swearing required. We use the talking stage to do what I call qualifying or release, okay? So qualifying or release. So qualifying means they're good to go, ready to work with you, like in the now soon time frame, right? If they're not good to go, ready to work with you in the now soon time frame, why are we wasting time, right? Why are we wasting their time? Why are you wasting your time? Why are you letting them waste your time? Let's talk to people that are ready to make commitment to change right now, right? Shout a Y in the chat if you're just loving that. Now, one of the things that I really struggled with for a long time was like, oh my God, what if you're rejecting me? And this is a huge issue for a lot of coaches, because we're still working through our own personal development of worrying about what everybody thinks of us. But who here is older than 16? right? Shout out, that's a me in the chat. You've had way too much life. You have had way too much stuff on your plate to worry about what a stranger on the internet has to say about you. Okay? You are way older than 16. So can we let that go? Right? Rejection is just organizing. Rejection is just organizing. It's like, oh, this is my I like it pile, and this is the I don't like it pile. It's okay to be in the don't like it pile for people that don't like what you do. It is amazing to be in the pile with the people that are like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan, right? So shout out fan in the chat if you're like, hey, this could be really huge for me to realize that rejection is just organizing, right? Yeah, it's like you want to work with fans. Final thing, make sure they have the capacity, right? So one of the biggest fears that I had as a coach is I would take advantage of somebody because I know what it's like to be taken advantage of. And it sucks and we don't want to do it. And so, Rebecca and I talk all the time about our practice on responsible influence. Responsible influence does not mean being nosy about other people's wallets, right? Responsible influence means, am I talking to somebody that is following along? Am I talking to somebody that is coherent and of sound mind and able to make a great decision here? Because then beyond that, it's just asking the questions around capacity. Do they have the time to do this? Do they have the money to do this? Are they invested in doing this? They've got competing interests. Is this one of their top interests that they're really working on right now? Most coaches are completely afraid of learning the processes around being able to ask those questions. But let me ask you, if you knew that you were asking good questions of people that you were working with, that you were pretty confident that they had capacity to work with you, do you think you'd make more sales and feel better about the sales you're making? Right? Let me know in the chat if that would make a huge difference to you. So, yeah, big time. Big time. So, like from here, I want to make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful. And, we like to help, we like to serve, and we do it at lots of different levels. So we have this free training on Tuesdays if you want to self-register for it. If you'd rather that we register you for the Tuesday trainings, just shout out club. So the club is a amazing program where you get our automatic networking solution program for free. So you can say guide to get the free guide, right? And this explains like how we teach Meet Talk Fit Coach at the Coaches Plaza. But then after that, like the Coaches Plaza Club is great because if you love these trainings, you never want to miss one. You always want to get the latest and get automatically registered for the recordings. Just join the club, right? The club is like less than a couple bucks a day. It is such a great investment and I think you're going to really love it. So just shout out club if you want us to send you the information about it. No pressure to join, but we can send you the information if you say club. Okay, next thing. Y'all have been asking me about my book, the Coaching Leads Made Easy book. We're moving a bunch of links around, so sometimes our links are broken and so on. So just shout out book if for $4.95 you would like a copy of our book. And by the way, I did the bundle with the book recently. So for $4.95, you don't just get the book, you're also going to get some training from us and some additional bonuses, seven additional bonuses. So they add up to quite a bit of value. I want to say it was close to $300 in value that we bundled with the book. So if you don't yet have the book, make sure you get the book. And I want to let you know too that that when you opt into the book, like right now, this is a baby funnel. So you're not going to get anything more than our regular communications from us when you get the book. So you're not, entering into some sort of a nutty professor funnel. Oakley dokley. So from there, the other ways that we can help. Is it cool if I just share with you? Because I haven't gone over this in a little while, and I just want to make sure that everybody's totally clear on that. All right. Thank you so much for your permission on that. We have the Experts Network, which is an outstanding program. And I know I'm saying that for myself, but I'm telling you that this is like years and years of hundreds of thousands of dollars of coaching and training that's been condensed down, organized, and streamlined for a coach who wants to coach, right? And wants to be independent, have time freedom, financial freedom, and wants more confidence with the decisions that you're making around that. So the Experts Network, we actually have like 3 ways that you can enjoy the network. You get access to the community no matter what. You get access to our curriculums and our templates and our processes and all of that no matter what. But we have a do-it-yourself option now available. We have a group coaching, tandem coaching option available. So, and with that, we actually set your tech up for you. So if you don't have your CRM, your email autoresponder and all that all set up, we can actually do that for you. And then you get access to the private coaching feedback and all of that. And then we have our platinum tier, which is where you can actually have a private coach work with you every single week on your business, on your mindset, on your high performance, and that's all included in the Experts Network. Now, Experts Network, it has the curriculum to show you how to basically how to show up as the coach, right? With confidence, how to have an offer that is irresistible, how to package that, how to set up your technology, like your calendar and all of that kind of stuff. And to be able to feel way more confident in having all that set up like a real pro, right? So again, we've got options where you can do it yourself. We've got options where we can do it for you. Because we've got so many options for ways that we can help, the next step is really just to say expert. And when you say expert, we'll send you a link, or if you prefer to just grab the first available, I just popped the link to book a call. When you say expert, we'll follow up with you and let you know how you can book a call with us to talk about getting more meaningful help in moving your business forward as a successful coach, right? So, so many people, the certification feels like it should be enough. It's not, because you need the details of the business decisions to be able to move forward. We've got the tools and the tech thought of. We've got the AI support in there as well. Like we're doing a lot. So if you want to just get information about a call, just say expert. If you'd like to go ahead and book a call, we've got the button available, and we're super happy to support you. And investments. People ask me this all the time. So, obviously when you're working at the platinum level, that's going to be a heftier investment, but you can get started with the Experts Network for just $500 right now. So that could change, but it is a no-brainer of an investment to get the access, because we know how expensive it is usually to get started as a coach. So we've done our best to keep our prices at a level that it's not going to be cost prohibitive to get the coaching support and business support that you actually need. But yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of the budget that you would need to get started. And that's it. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining me, and I hope you got a lot of inspiration. I hope that you're really excited about taking the next steps with your coaching business and serving other people and getting out there and connecting. I know that's what we really, really care about. If we can serve you and support you in any way, let us know, okay? We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.